Race 5 of the BMW IBSF four-man bobsleigh World Cup season were at historic Moritz in Switzerland. The only natural track still remaining in use, Moritz is hand-built fresh every year, which means that for a century and a quarter there have been the same dramas. Mistake at the start from Alexei Boron of Poland's crew, complicated as he brought it out of the final corner too early. They rolled across the line. At more than 90 miles an hour with no brakes, the sled takes some stopping. Fortunately, driver and crew were okay. And that was the case too for Liechtenstein's Martin Krantz and his crew. The men at 2 and 3 collided in the sled and they left one of their brakemen behind. They completed the course safely with 3 on board, but were disqualified as a result. Into the second and deciding heat, and 3 Swiss sleds all battling for supremacy and trying to get themselves in amongst the medals. Seaman Freeman was the third of them, in 7th place after the first of the 2 heats, but finding 400s extra in the start, the crew gave him the speed he needed to come down, getting on for 3/4 of a second faster than his first heat. Half a second out of the lead in the first round, a medal seemed unlikely, but beating his fellow Swiss drivers was definitely on the top of his list. Cedric Fidor had fallen by the wayside when we got to the final Swiss sled. Mickey Vogt, he finished 4th in the World Championships and was determined to try and go one better and make it from 5th place up to the podium here. But he fell behind early on. There was barely more than 100th in it all the way down, and in the final corner, just tidying up his act enough, he crept in front of Friedrich by 0.05 of a second, less than the blink of an eye. 4th after the first heat, Emil Tulis. He tied for the silver medal in the World Championships 12 months earlier with Great Britain's Brad Hall. Hall, on his recovery from injury, was also a factor. Tulis would have to put in a big run to try and get in front of him and step into the medals. It was a great-looking drive from the Latvian, smooth and fast, hitting the high speeds all the way down the track and taking a comfortable lead, a new track record in the second heat. Brad Hall couldn't match the Latvian's pace, so Tulis led as we got to the final 2 sleds. Francesco Friedrich, the 4-man world champion, start record 5:01 in the first heat, equal with his arch-rival Johannes Loch. The crew did the same in the second heat, and Friedrich tidied up what had been a fairly messy first run, but maybe not entirely successfully. Only 4th best speed at the bottom. Nevertheless, he was good enough for yet another track record, 1:04.34, the quickest sled, which left a real challenge for Johannes Loch and his boys. Could they beat the start? Yes, they could. 4:98, the fastest getaway of the competition, and that extra iota of acceleration helped him keep tabs early on what is a very slick and slippery Moritz track. Hard to guide the sled accurately, but somehow he found enough pace in the forest to creep in front. Another track record and gold. His first gold for 6 years in Moritz, his first medal for 4. Friedrich took silver, Tulis took bronze, but the 2-man winner Johannes Loch won the 4-man race as well to creep ahead in the world rankings.